Welcome to another installment of the iFish Illinois Data Portal Help video series. In this video, we're going to cover using the date selector tool within the filtering tool on grids throughout the system. This is a unique little characteristic that I think is worthy of a little bit of attention. We'll start by using site visits as our example grid. So I'm going to go ahead and access that by clicking on Fish Assessments and then selecting Site Visits. And in this case now we get a grid of many records, one of the columns being a date field. Okay. So if I wanted to filter on date to get records from a particular date or range of dates, I would first begin by selecting the filtering tool, and that's going to open up my filter dialog box right here adjacent to the column that you're filtering on. And of course you can select your Boolean query terms. In this case, let's do a range of dates, say the second half of 2012. So since we're doing a range, our first item needs to be after a certain date or equal to that date. And our next term needs to also be before the end date or equal to it. And so now I have to select which two dates are my range. And we'll use the year 2012, and we'll use the last 6 months of the year as an example. So if I click on this, now of course I can just type in 6/1/2012. That's perfectly legitimate, and I can certainly do 12/31/2012. So you can certainly do it that way. Click filter, and you'll get everything from 2012 that's in the system. Okay, so let's just clear that out. But in this case, let's say you wanted, if you prefer, you can utilize this calendar picker, this date picker, and it ensures that you got the format right, and it's kind of visual in nature. So if I click on it, you're going to get the calendar of the month that you're currently in. So right now it's July 11th of 2019. So it's highlighting today's date as a starting point. But I want to go back to 2012. So rather than have to scroll back with the arrows month by month by month all the way back to 2012, instead what I can do is click on the month of the calendar, and that's going to zoom me out to the current year, 2019, and provide all 12 months of that year to select from. So if it's July 11th, but I want to choose a date in February, I can just pick February and then pick the date, and then I've very quickly selected the date. But if I want to go back to 2012, I can go back to the year, and then I can go back to a range of years and go directly to 2012 and directly choose the month I'm interested in and select the day that I'm interested in as a start date, which is July 1st, 2012. And then my end date, let's say, is the 31st of December of that same year. Right now I'm on July 11th, 2019. So let's move back up to 2019 and get all 12 months, and then move back up again and zoom out again to these range of dates, and then select the year I want, and select the month I want, and then select the day I want. And there you have it. You've selected your dates. And then if I click filter, everything I have here should be restricted to this last 6 months of 2012. So that's an example of how you use this calendar chooser in this filter dialog. Make a quick way of navigating through a wide range of dates and very quickly setting a date range or an individual date for which you want to find some piece of information. Please be sure to visit all of our help videos series, particularly if you're running into particular action or task that you're not quite sure how to do. And if that fails, just sure to contact us, and we will help you out with anything that you're learning to do in the system.